Hello, my name is Sneha Sravyani and I'm going to say about the topic on the post-harvest losses in India, a hidden driver of inflation and economic inefficiency. So, India is one of the largest producer of agriculture commodities in the world. However, a significant portion of this produce never actually reaches the consumers. Instead, it is lost after the harvest due to inefficiencies in storage, transportation, and distribution. Estimates suggest that nearly a 30 to 40% of fruits and vegetables in India are lost post harvest. This is not just a food waste, it is a major economic loss which is running into thousands of crores. In this video, I will explain how post harvest losses are a hidden driver of inflation and economic inefficiency in India. So, the post harvest losses refers to reduction in quantity and the quality of agriculture produce after harvesting but before it reaches the final consumer. India produces a large volume of perishable goods, yet it lacks an efficient supply chain to handle them. As a result, a substantial share of output is wasted before it enters the market. From economic perspective, this represents a clear inefficiency. Resources such as land, water, labor, and capital they fully utilized in production, but the final output fails to generate the complete economic value. So this creates a huge gap between the production and the actual market supply, which leads to the distortions in the pricing and availability. The causes of post-harvest losses in India are structural and linked to supply chain inefficiencies. Firstly, there is a lack of adequate cold storage infrastructure. Perishable goods which spoil quickly, like without the proper temperature and the controlled facilities. Secondly, the transportation system is very inefficient, which produce is often transported in open trucks without refrigeration. So it leads to damage and spoiling of during transit. Thirdly, the supply chain involves multiple intermediaries and delays in mandis, so which definitely increase the time taken for produce to reach the consumers. Lastly, there is a limited awareness and access to modern storage and packaging technologies among the farmers. So together, these factors result in significant losses after production. So during my rural agriculture exposure under RA, I observed that many farmers were forced to sell their produce immediately after harvest because of due to lack of storage facilities. In several cases, they used to accept the low prices just to avoid the risk of complete spoilage. So this definitely highlights how post-harvest losses directly impact the farmer income and the decision making. So the economic impact of post-harvest losses is significant. Firstly, it leads to direct loss of income for farmers, reducing the purchasing power and affecting the rural demand. Secondly, reduced effective supply in the market contributes to higher food prices, thereby which increase the inflation. So this directly affects consumers across the country. Thirdly, it results in inefficient utilization of resources as economy invests in production but fails to capture its full value. From macroeconomic perspective, this reduces the overall efficiency and weakness the contribution of agriculture to GDP. Therefore, the post-harvest losses are not just an agriculture issue. They are a broader economic problem. Addressing this issue, which requires a combination of infrastructure development and the systemic improvements. In short term, digital platforms help farmers to connect to directly the markets and it reduces the delay. And in medium term, investments in cold storage and efficient transportation systems is essential. In long term, strengthening food processing industries is important for the value-added products. To conclude, reducing the post-harvest losses is equivalent to increasing the production without using the additional resources. So it can improve the farmer income, reduce inflation, and enhance economic efficiency. Thank you.